We are one quarter of the way through the league season. We're the only unbeaten team now. We're top of the table, scoring goals, good goal difference. Are you happy overall with the way things have gone so far?
Yeah, reasonably. You know, we're in 3 cup competitions as well. You know, where this time last year we only left in one. Obviously, we got knocked out of the Scottish Challenge Cup first round off Dundee, and then we got beat off Caernarfon in the MG Cup first round as well. So yeah, that's very pleasing that we're through the other 2 cup competitions. So yeah, very pleased about that. But league wise, I think probably the only disappointing really result we've had really was probably the look. We want to win every game, but you know the Barry at home to drop 2 points against Barry at home, when we dominated the game completely from start to finish and missed loads of opportunities and give away 2 poor goals, then that would probably be the only blot on our record really. You know, it's obviously Balla's not an easy place to go. You know, and a draw at Balla's not the end of the world. So yeah, I think probably if I was to mark it out of 10, I'd probably say a 7 out of 10 up to now domestically, as in league wise, and probably an 8 or 9 out of 10 if you bring the cup competitions in that.
You mentioned the other competitions there. It is a little bit of plate spinning at the moment.
Yeah.
You do have to think slightly ahead of yourself. You were in Scotland on Saturday just gone, eyeing up our opponents in the SPFL Trust Trophy. Was that a profitable exercise?
Yeah, definitely it was. You know, it was a long weekend. We went down to Cardiff, you know, played Friday night in Cardiff, got home maybe 2 o'clock, 2:30 a.m. A few hours sleep, back on the train at 9 o'clock and back up to Edinburgh. And it is definitely, it was the only opportunity I could get to go and watch them when we didn't have a game. So, you know, I had to make the most of it. And yeah, definitely without a doubt, you know, enjoyed the game, finished 2-2. Well worth going. You know, you can watch highlights on TV, etc., etc. You can watch full games, but it's always good to be there if you can. You see and hear and feel a lot more that goes on. So yeah, without a shadow of a doubt, I think when it comes down to it, and we play them in 2 weeks' time, then it will be definitely a profitable, you know, a journey without a shadow of a doubt. As much as it was a long old day Saturday, you know, got back about 9:30, but yeah, it was something that I think was important to do. And you know, and Sarge went to watch Caernarfon versus Pontypridd because we've got Caernarfon Pontypridd coming up. So between the two, we know covered all bases for the next 3-4 games. So yeah, it's really important that we do our due diligence and give the respect due to the opponents we play, and leave no stone unturned, because obviously you start to get ahead of yourself too much, and you know, you get a bit on the backside quite quickly. Football's got a habit of doing that.
And although we are more familiar with Caernarfon, of course, do you still feel that it's important, if possible, to see games in advance of the TNS fixture?
Yeah, definitely. You know, without a shadow of a doubt, you know, that's the positive thing about playing on Friday night. You know, it's great for the players; they can have the weekend off. But for myself and Sarge and other members of staff, then sometimes we're out there watching games. It gives opportunity to see opposition and see different games. You know, sometimes we'll go across to England to watch some games, and sometimes we'll go and watch, you know, the Welsh Prem games as well, which it was ideal on Saturday because obviously we've got Caernarfon and Pontypridd back to back this week coming up. So, you know, 2 birds with 1 stone, as they say.
And we do play Caernarfon tomorrow at the Oval. Yeah. How important is it for you to have players coming back from injury, then now in contention, so that you can perhaps shuffle the starting 11 slightly?
Yeah, it is. You know, it is important. Competition's always been a real importance for myself. I think if you can keep the competition within, driven and really high, then everything else almost looks after itself. That's the sort of ethos I've always had, always will have, believing it strongly. You know, and that's why we've got a strong squad to drive from within, and if you don't perform, then you might be out of the team and might not get in for 5-6 weeks. But yeah, you know, we've got, I think today, Ash Baker, John Routledge, Rory, Jared, all trained fully back in with the squad. You know, and Sis will be available again after Tuesday, and Danny Davis was back in today. Danny's been out with I think it's a fractured wrist. He's got a cast on it at the moment, so he can't play. But I think that'll come off on Wednesday, and there'll be a light cast going, so Danny will be back available as well. So within the next probably 3 or 4 days, we would have had everyone bar Dec McManus available again.
The first batch of players that you mentioned there who are back in training, are they perhaps too early to be in contention for a place tomorrow?
No, they've trained, so there's a possibility that they could be involved tomorrow and Saturday. You know, and then after that we've got a full week building up to to Penabont. So, you know, that's been the problem. They've not had enough sort of competitive training sessions because a lot of the bulk of the squad has just been playing, recovering, preparing, playing, recovering, preparing. So we spend minimum time on the training pitch actually doing really tough, intense sessions when it's 2 or 3 games a week. But we've got, after this weekend, we've got 2 weeks of Saturday to Saturday. So we've got good opportunity for them then. There's also to get some good training sessions in the legs as well. You know, maybe some game time somewhere.
And as far as the history form book is concerned, our last 5 visits to the Oval have resulted in victories for the New Saints. We've scored 14 goals. We haven't conceded at all. Do statistics like that come into the picture in terms of, even if it's just a psychological advantage?
Yeah, possibly from a psychological point of view, but you know, each game and each season's different. Obviously, Caernarfon started really well this season. You know, we've watched them enough to know their strengths, you know, and their weaknesses, and obviously we'd be like I said, we've got a lot of respect for them. You know, they've got some good players in there, some experienced players as well. So we've done our due diligence on Saturday and the weeks before. You know, but we've got a style we want to play, and you know, now it's, you know, 95, 96% about what we do. And we've got a strong ethos at the club about doing that as well. So yes, myself and Sarge work hard to go and watch games all over the country and other countries, but also as well we also believe in what we're doing as well, and you know, and stick to what our beliefs are and our plan and the way we go about games. You know, with obviously touching on the opposition's strengths as well.
And bearing in mind we had the game in Cardiff last weekend, we're at home to Pontypridd this coming weekend, and Caernarfon in between. How much deliberation was there, from your point of view, in terms of going for that starting 11 and getting the balance right of resting players and therefore bringing other players in?
Yeah, it's you know, it's a balancing act, isn't it? You know, you look at it, lads who, you know, played lots of minutes recently and lads who haven't, and you know, and then looking at games coming up. But again, you know, we had 2 days off. The lads had Saturday, Sunday off, so everyone's fresh. Everyone's had at least 48 hours off to recover. So we'll be going into the Caernarfon game where there's, you know, everyone's fine, everyone's recovered. So we'll go in with our strongest team, as I do all games, you know, horses for courses, as I say. Sometimes tactically we might change it, or sometimes we might change a little bit of, you know, shape, etc., or rotate 1 or 2, but it's always for the outcome of trying to win the game. And that'll be exactly the same, you know, as we sit here Monday morning.
And training has been disrupted in many ways over the last few weeks due to a midweek game. How's it been going overall, though?
Yeah, brilliant, good. You know, we've got great professionals. The lads are fantastic. You know, they're a pleasure to work with. I really enjoy. You know, they'll probably, you know, say that I push them every day. You know, push them to, you know, breaking point at some points. But I think it's important that we keep our high standards. You know, I'm very much a believer in high standards, big competition during the week, and the weekend to look after themselves. You prepare right during the week and work hard, and everyone is a competition for places. Then the games sort of tend to look after themselves with a little bit of direction. But yeah, players want to play games. Coaches and managers want to get on the training pitch and get some quality training sessions into them. But it's finding that balancing act, and sometimes the most important bit is recovery. You know, and we've found that over the last 2 or 3 weeks, you know, it's really important that we recover well and prepare ready for the next game.